All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to spend a day with a community mental health nurse named Yousef. We're going to get a real firsthand look at the human-centered, profound work they do and see how compassionate care is built one moment at a time.
And this quote? This really gets to the heart of it. This is the philosophy that guides every single thing Nurse Yusef does. It's not just about what he knows, but about his ability to truly listen and connect. This is the foundation for everything we're going to talk about today. So, first things first, let's properly meet Nurse Yusef and really dig into the core principles that shape his whole approach to mental health. You know, this role is so much more than just a job. It's about literally stepping into someone else's world, meeting them on their own turf, and being that person who builds a bridge of trust. It's a true calling, one that blends clinical skill with an enormous amount of heart.
Okay, so let's see how this all works in the real world. We're going to follow Yousef on his very first visit of the day. He's going to see a young man named Sami.
And it all starts here, with these incredibly simple, small gestures. When Yousef shows up, he doesn't just barge in. It's a quiet knock, a gentle voice asking, "May I come in?" Right from that first second, he's building an environment of safety and trust. And because that safe space exists, Sami feels he can share this. I mean, what an incredibly brave thing to admit, to voice that level of despair. And Yousef's response? It's not alarm, it's not panic. It's validation. He actually thanks Sami for his courage, making it clear he's not alone in this feeling.
So, this is the big question, isn't it? When someone is in that much pain, what's the next step? How in the world do you go from that dark admission to building a real, tangible plan for hope?
Well, here's how. And this is so important. The plan isn't something Yousef dictates to Sami. It's something they create together. They sit down and map out his personal warning signs, they brainstorm activities that might help even a little, and they list out his support network. It becomes his plan, a personalized map to help him find his way. And look at the result just a few days later. This is what it's all about. It's not some massive, dramatic turnaround. It's small, but it's real. The curtains are open. Sami took a short walk. He actually called a friend. And Yousef makes sure to celebrate every single one of these small wins, because they are the literal building blocks of hope. All right, next up on Yousef's day, he has to navigate a much more complicated situation. His next patient, George, is dealing with so many different layers of stress, and it requires a whole different level of care. So what Yousef does here is a comprehensive risk assessment. It's like a balancing act. On one side, you have these heavy risk factors, George's isolation, the huge stress of his son's addiction, and on the other, you have the things that protect him, his faith, his church friends. It's a really delicate, crucial balance to understand. So he's got this complex picture of George's life. Now what? Let's break down how Yousef takes all of that information and turns it into a real, actionable safety plan. You can see right away George's plan is way more detailed than Sami's. It has some of the same stuff like a support network, but it also includes a very clear emergency plan. And this part is absolutely critical. It has safeguarding actions related to his son, like a safe word he can use if he ever feels threatened. It's a truly comprehensive safety net. You know, after seeing Yousef handle these two incredibly intense situations, we have to talk about the caregiver himself. Carrying all of that, it has an enormous emotional weight, and that leads to a very real challenge. It's this thing called compassion fatigue, and it's a huge deal in this line of work. It's what happens when you're constantly exposed to trauma and pain, and it just starts to slowly wear down your own ability to feel empathy. It's like your well of compassion starts to run dry. And Yousef definitely feels it. Imagine the weight of listening to so much pain all day, every day. The constant giving of yourself. Over time, that can lead to this quiet wearing away of the very thing that makes you good at your job. It gets harder to connect, harder to care. So what's the antidote? It's this. This is non-negotiable. Yousef actively practices self-care. He has supervision with his colleagues where he can talk through the tough cases. He gets out in nature. He relies on his faith. This isn't being selfish. It's essential maintenance. It's how he keeps that well of empathy full so he can keep doing his job. Okay, so we've been deep in the details of Yousef's day. Let's pull back for a second and look at the big picture. What are the core lessons, the universal keys to care that we can take away from all this?
Here they are, the 6 keys we've seen in action. It all starts with empathetic listening. Then you co-create a well-being plan, you celebrate those tiny victories, you weave a holistic safety net, you absolutely have to manage compassion fatigue, and you leverage the power of community. These are powerful ideas that honestly apply to all of us, not just nurses.
And that really brings it all back home, doesn't it? We saw just how powerful a well-being plan was for Sami and for George. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. What about you? What does your own personal well-being plan look like? What are your warning signs, your helpful activities, your support network? That's a question we could all benefit from asking ourselves.